My dad threw my bag onto the driveway and said, "You're done here." No warning, no explanation, just over. I stood there, trying to process how I went from their kid to someone they could just throw away. My mom didn't even step outside, didn't say goodbye, didn't stop him, just watched from the window, like I was a problem being removed. And the worst part, they really thought I'd come back, begging, needing them. But what they didn't know was that the next time we spoke, they'd be the ones asking me for help. I wasn't perfect, but I wasn't a problem either. No drugs, no trouble, no big mistakes, just not what they wanted. Because in our house, everything revolved around my older brother. He has more pressure, he needs more support, so everything went to him. Time, money, attention. And me? I got whatever was left, which, most of the time, was nothing. So when I turned 18, I guess they decided I was done. "You'll figure it out," my dad said. Funny, because my brother was 24, still living at home, still being supported. But I didn't argue, because deep down, I already knew there was no winning that conversation. So I left. First night, a friend's couch. Second week, a cheap room I could barely afford. After that, work, non-stop. 2 jobs, sometimes 3, just to survive. And slowly, I built something. Not big, not flashy, but mine. And that mattered more than anything. Years passed. I stopped expecting anything from them. Stopped hoping they'd change. Because expecting something from people who already showed you who they are, that's just setting yourself up again. Then one day, my phone rang. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer, but something told me to. "Hello?" Silence. Then, "It's Mom." That voice. Familiar, but distant. "I heard you're doing well," she said. Doing well? That's how she opened. Not "we miss you." Not "we're sorry." Just information. And in that moment, I already knew. This wasn't about reconnecting. This was about needing something. And I was about to find out exactly what. "I heard you're doing well." She said it again, like she was trying to sound warm, but didn't quite know how. "I'm doing fine," I replied. Short, neutral. A pause. Then, "We could really use your help." There it was. Straight to it. "With what?" I asked. Another pause. Longer. "It's your brother," she said. "Of course it is. What happened?" I asked. "He's in trouble," she replied. "Debt. A lot of it." I leaned back in my chair, because somehow, I wasn't surprised. And I said, "We're trying to fix it," she added. "But we can't cover everything." "Of course you can't. So you called me," I said. "Your family," she answered. That word again. Always right on time. I looked around my place. Everything I built. Everything they weren't part of. "You kicked me out," I said. Calm. Clear. "That was years ago," she replied quickly. No apology. Just distance. "You told me to figure it out," I continued. "And you did," she said, almost proud. That part? That's what got me. Like my struggle was something they could now admire. "We just need help right now," she added. I nodded slowly, because now, it was obvious. Nothing had changed. Same priorities. Same pattern. "How much?" I asked. She hesitated. 15,000. 15,000. Not small, but not impossible either. And that's what made the decision real. Not emotional. Clear. "I can help," I said. Relief flooded her voice. "Oh, thank you. I knew you would." "But not like that," I added. Silence. "What do you mean?" she asked. "I'm not giving you money," I said. Her tone shifted. Confused. Sharper. "Then what are you offering?" "The same thing you gave me," I replied. Pause. "What?" "Advice," I said. Silence. Heavy. "You told me to figure it out," I continued. "So that's what I did." No response. "And now," I added, "you can do the same." That landed. Because now, she understood. This wasn't a negotiation. This was a boundary. "You've changed," she said quietly. I nodded. "Yeah," I said. I had to. No anger, no yelling, just truth. "I hope it works out," I added. And I meant it. But I wasn't stepping back into that role. Not the backup. Not the solution. Not anymore. We hung up. And just like that, it was over. Funny thing is, they thought kicking me out would make me weak. But all it really did was teach me how to stand on my own. And once you learn that, you don't go back. So tell me, would you have helped them? Or done exactly what I did? I thought that was the end of it. Clean. Final. Done. It wasn't. 2 days later, my phone rang again. This time, My dad. I stared at the screen for a second, then answered. You really think you can just turn your back on us? He said. No hello, no pause. Straight to anger. I stayed calm. I didn't turn my back, I said. You did that years ago. Silence. Then, that was different. He snapped. Of course it was. Because when they do it, it's justified. When I do it, it's betrayal. He's your brother, he added. He needs you. I let that sit for a second. No, I said. He needs to face what he did. That's not how family works, my dad said. I almost smiled. Actually, I replied, that's exactly how it works when you're not the favorite. Silence. Because he knew. They both knew. This wasn't just about money. This was years of imbalance. Finally coming back around. You're going to regret this, he said. That line, the one meant to scare you. It didn't. No, I said calmly. I already lived the part where I had nothing. Another silence. You don't understand. He tried again. I understand perfectly. I cut in. Because I did. They didn't call me when I struggled. Didn't check in when I had nothing. Didn't show up when I needed help. But now I was valuable again. Not as a son, as a solution. And I wasn't playing that role anymore. So what happens now? He asked. I leaned back. Now? I said. You figure it out. The same words. But this time, they hit differently. Because now, they didn't have me to fall back on. You've changed, he said. I nodded. Yeah, I replied. And for the first time, I didn't feel like I needed to explain it. We hung up. No yelling. No dramatic ending. Just silence. And that silence? That was closure. Weeks passed. Then months. No calls. No messages. Nothing. And honestly, that felt right. Because for the first time in my life, my peace wasn't tied to their approval. It was built on my own boundaries. Funny thing is, they thought they were teaching me a lesson when they kicked me out. But all they really did was teach me how to survive without them. And once you learn that, you stop needing permission to walk away. So tell me, if they called again one day, would you pick up or let it ring?